Let me ask you something. When was the last time you heard a song from 1995 and immediately felt like you were 14 again? I'm talking about that weird, nostalgic time warp where your mom's car radio suddenly becomes a portal to your childhood. Today, we are diving into 3 rock songs from 1995 that didn't just define an era, they became cultural shorthand for an entire generation. But here's the kicker, these aren't just throwback hits. They're windows into the anxieties, desires, and contradictions of the 90s. Let's unpack why these tracks still haunt us decades later. Take Melissa Etheridge's Little Secret. At first glance, it's a sassy breakup anthem, but dig deeper and you realize it's a masterclass in emotional manipulation. The way she sings, "Stop playing those eyes if you want me to keep your little secret," feels less like a warning and more like a psychological thriller. What makes this really interesting is how the song weaponizes vulnerability. It's like she's holding a mirror up to the listener and saying, "You know this feels bad, don't you?" It's not just about cheating, it's about the power dynamics in relationships. And yet, here we are in 2023, still obsessed with toxic love stories. Why do we keep coming back to this? Maybe because we're all still trying to decode what keeping a secret really means in our own lives. Now let's talk about FireHouse's I Live My Life For You. This track is the ultimate 90s rom-com soundtrack, saccharine, dramatic, and utterly sincere. But here's what bugs me, the lyrics are so over the top, they almost parody themselves. "I dedicate my life to you, you know I would die for you." It's like a Hallmark card written by a teenager who's never had a real relationship. And yet, this song became a top 20 hit. Why? Because in the 90s, people craved this kind of unfiltered emotion. We were living in a world where everything felt like it could be fixed with a heartfelt ballad. But think about it, how many of us have ever truly lived for someone else? The irony is, this song's obsession with eternal love might be what makes it so enduring. It's the musical equivalent of a neon sign screaming, "I'm feeling something," even when we're all just trying to survive. Then there's Joan Osborne's One of Us, a song that's been misinterpreted for decades. People assume it's a religious anthem, but Eric Bazillian's confession, that he didn't write it with any agenda, reveals something deeper. This isn't about God, it's about the human need to find meaning in the mundane. When he sings, "What if God was one of us?" Just a slob like one of us, it's not a theological question, it's a philosophical rebellion against the idea that spirituality has to be grand or distant. What this really suggests is that we're all searching for connection, whether it's with a higher power or just a stranger on a bus. And here's the thing, in an age where we scroll through infinite content, this song feels more relevant than ever. It's a reminder that sometimes the simplest questions are the hardest to answer. So why do these songs still stick with us? Maybe because they're not just music, they're time capsules. They capture the contradictions of an era, the optimism of the 90s, the uncertainty, the desire to love and be loved. But more than that, they force us to confront our own contradictions. Are we still looking for one of us in a world that feels increasingly fragmented? Are we still living for people who might not even be worth it? These songs aren't just relics, they are conversations we're still having. And honestly, I think that's what makes them timeless.